Hey, welcome. It is gorgeous out. Welcome to MJE Rooftop. We've got a very interesting Parshat Chukat, which means the law. And the Parsha opens with the law of the Red Heifer, which seems to be one of the most enigmatic, esoteric, I have no idea what this has to do with anybody, kind of rule and law, which goes back to the temple times, that if a person had come into the contact with the dead, they could not re-enter the temple precincts unless they had what was called a mechatat, the waters of the red heifer, of the ashes mixed in with the ashes of the red heifer and the water together, sprinkled upon that person by the high priest, by the Kohen. And it's a kind of a strange ritual. Somebody would come into contact with the dead. In order for them to become purified, they would have to have these mechatat, these purified waters with the ashes of the red heifer mixed in, sprinkled by the high priest. You following? Okay. Except the rabbis teach us that when the high priest would perform the sprinkling, in order to purify a fellow Jew that had come in contact with the dead that was impure, the person doing the sprinkling, the Kohen, the priest, would himself become impure in the process. So in trying to purify someone else, he would become impure. And the question is why? And there are a number of different explanations offered, but two words: humility and empathy. Because what kind of feeling would the Kohen perhaps have when sprinkling these mechatat on his fellow Jew who is impure? I'm this holy Kohen. He needs me to become pure. I'm a very, very pure spiritual being. This person is impure, and through my sprinkling, I'm saving this other person. But what does the Torah teach us? That individual too becomes impure in the process. Never to become arrogant when helping another person. Look who I am, look who you are. You're down there, I'm up here. You need me to be saved. There's no such thing in Judaism. We help each other because we need each other, because we care about each other, not because we're better. So that's number one, the lesson against arrogance, to become humble. And the second is to become empathetic. To truly help another human being, you need to empathize with them. You need to feel what they're experiencing. And in order for the high priest to experience a little what the person he was trying to help was going through, is for the high priest himself, for the Kohen Gadol himself, to become impure in the process. Because again, there's no such thing in Judaism as a person's here, you're here. We're all here to try to help guide each other, to try to help inspire and lift each other up. The only way we can do that is if the person who's helping truly feels for the other person. It's not here and they're here, but they have a certain empathy and sympathy, which is engendered through the Kohen Gadol becoming impure in his attempt to purify another. Great, simple lessons. When you're trying to help, if it's a family member, it's a colleague at work, it's someone else. It doesn't mean we're any better. If you really want to be helpful, you got to get into their shoes. You got to feel what they're feeling. And that is probably half the therapy. Because even if you don't have the perfect solution, just a human being knowing that someone else cares and is feeling a little of what they're feeling, that's half the therapy right there. And with that message, I leave you with the Shabbat Shalom.